ready to share my postpartum essential with you guys. I need a lot of postpartum things in the hospital already. The hospital will also provide you a nipple cream. It's probably not the most expensive or best quality that's out there. This is the first thing I'll say, that I actually enjoyed using the hospitals, or preferred rather using the hospitals rather than mine. I remember when I was pregnant and I was watching these videos, and the moms were talking about, oh yeah, you have to wear an adult diaper, and you got to put an ice pack, and you got to put the witch hazel pad liners for cooling and soothing and comfort and all these things, and I felt so overwhelmed. Hello and welcome back to my channel. I have my little notebook with me today. I am ready to share my postpartum essential with you guys. I wanted to make sure that I truly gave you guys useful information that you can take with you, that you can kind of evaluate and see if this will work for you and what you're going through right now with your pregnancy or even your postpartum journey. If you're new here, before I get into it, my name is Talita. I am currently 18 weeks pregnant. I have a 15-month-old toddler. His name is Caden, and I'm having a second son, and we're really excited. So I'm going to speak to my first postpartum experience, of course, and what I've used and what worked for me, kind of like similar to what I said in my pregnancy must-haves video, which if you missed, I'm going to link it right here so you guys can check it out later. If I'm looking down, don't mind me, it's just my notes because I want to make sure I, again, am getting everything right and not missing anything for you guys. First thing that I wanted to share, I want to start with the hospital, because the hospital, you need a lot of postpartum things in the hospital already. The things that I took to the hospital that I actually use that you will need in the hospital and outside of the hospital are, first, nipple cream. You're going to start breastfeeding if you choose to breastfeed. Maybe, I don't know how many hours later, they ask you, you know, are you breastfeeding or are you bottle feeding? And there's no right or wrong here. I was trying to breastfeed, so I chose to breastfeed. And, you know, right away, the baby is trying to latch, and it can be painful sometimes, especially the first time around, because really you're learning. You don't know what you're doing. The baby may not know, you know, how to naturally latch like some babies do. So it can be a little painful. Having a nipple cream handy is important. Now, the hospital will also provide you a nipple cream, which is not bad from what I can remember. But I do think that having one that you're comfortable with, like an organic nipple cream, for example, because you don't really know what the hospital is using. Usually it's probably not the most expensive or best quality nipple cream that's out there, because they need it in high quantity. So with that being said, I highly recommend bringing your own. I believe I use the Earth Mama's nipple cream, which is good because when you use this nipple cream, if the baby latches or like swallow some of it, it's okay because of the ingredients in it. So that gives you a little bit of a peace of mind. The second thing I would take to the hospital is pads, adult diapers, and those will save you, because I think the hospital, I'm not sure if they give you diapers or just like a type of underwear that you have to wear. But if you wear the adult diaper, it's a multi-use diaper, right? Because it's absorbing everything, so you don't have to put like 100 things on top of your underwear while you're in the hospital, which can be really overwhelming and just not very pleasant. So I highly suggest bringing your own adult diapers with you to the hospital. Another thing I did take to the hospital, which I did not end up really using, I didn't like it as much as the hospital. So this is the first thing I'll say, that I actually enjoyed using the hospitals, or preferred rather using the hospitals rather than mine, was the perineal spray. Is that what it's called? Yeah, the perennial spray bottle. So the perennial spray bottle, I'm sure you guys have seen. It's from Frida Mom, I believe, and it's very popular. Everyone talks about this bottle. It basically, people like it because it curves up so that when you're spraying down there, it's just easier. It's supposed to be easier to spray. I found that it was actually harder, not easier, because of the curve. It didn't work like it's supposed to for me. So the hospital one is literally just a regular spray bottle, and you just spray up, and it works. It's easy, it's convenient. To me, it was a lot more efficient than using the Frida Mom bottle that I paid for and literally used twice. Which Hazel for me was, I think I took it to the hospital too, from what I can remember, but I used it a lot, period, in my postpartum journey. And by a lot, I don't mean like I used it like for months and months. I probably used it for maybe 2 weeks. Really, like these things that you have to use, like the witch hazel and the perennial spray bottle and the diaper, you don't use it for that long. I remember when I was pregnant and I was watching these videos, and the moms were talking about, oh yeah, you have to wear an adult diaper, and you got to put an ice pack, and you got to put the witch hazel pad liners for cooling and soothing and comfort and all these things. And I felt so overwhelmed because I thought, oh my gosh, I'm going to be doing this for months. But really, it's not like that. I'm sure it varies from mom to mom, depending on your whole experience. But for me specifically, I used it for maybe 2 weeks, maybe 3 weeks max. I don't quite remember very, very clearly how long, but I remember it wasn't that long. And I was really surprised by it, pleasantly surprised by it. So definitely keep that in mind. Like, it's not something that you use for a very long time. As a matter of fact, I still have the adult diapers because I bought 2, I believe it was like 2 packs. I have to check and see how many I have, how many is in one pack. But I don't think I finished the first pack that I got, and I have another pack that hasn't even been opened yet. So that gives you a little bit of concept of like how much you actually need to use like the adult diapers, for example, for. So really not that long. The thing that I used was the Preparation Age cream, and I used it, and this is like a specific thing that I needed for hemorrhoids. So I had hemorrhoid in my pregnancy. I think I got it like in the 3rd trimester. And the reason why some people may get that is because there's a lot of pressure down there as you get bigger. And my suggestion on this that I didn't do until I found out what I needed to do, and now I'm doing it already now, is when you do go to the bathroom, and I'm sorry, this is going to be a little TMI, you want to be like at a 90-degree angle with your legs. So you know those stools, what are those called? The potty stools or whatever that were really popular at one time, because you'd put your feet on top of it before, you know, when you sat in the toilet, so you could be leveled. Those are really helpful for you to use, so you can potentially avoid getting hemorrhoids, because it kind of just relieves that pressure that you get if you're just not leveled. You know, you want to be at that 90-degree angle. Some people get it in the pregnancy like I did. Some people get it when they deliver the baby. Some people don't get it at all. So don't worry about getting it. It really varies from person to person. But if you do get it, Preparation Age cream is a cream that I think you can buy over the counter anywhere. So it's really just a very common cream that you can use, and it does help. I can definitely attest to that. It does help. Epsom salt, I think, is a big one. When you are recovering, it's nice to just take a bath in Epsom salt, because your body is really sore. And it just relaxes it. And it's also really good. And I think the main reason why I got it wasn't even for that with my postpartum recovery. Now that I think about it, it was because of the hemorrhoids, because it was suggested to me that if I like sat not for long in warm water with Epsom salt for about 5-10 minutes max, that it would help with the discomfort and potentially help overall with the hemorrhoids. So that's another tip for you guys if you do currently have it. Lastly, a very important buy here that I did throughout my postpartum journey was my pregnancy belt or belly band. I really like the one that I got because it was like it came in 3. So it's 3 different belts in one. And the reason why it's 3 in 1 is because you use it as you debloat. So first you need like the larger one, right? Because you still have a little bit of a belly after you deliver the baby. So you use that. And the reason why I highly recommend and truly think everyone needs a pregnancy belt after delivering the baby is, 1, because your organs are not in place. And I know this sounds really, really disturbing, but it's the truth. Your organs are not where they need to be after you deliver a baby. So when you wear the pregnancy belt, it almost like helps get it back in place a little bit faster. And when your organs are spread and not in place, it makes you look bigger because they're not yet like where they need to be, right? So using the pregnancy belt not only will help your organs get back in place, not only will it help provide comfort as you walk, because you are still kind of not feeling like your stomach is a little bit out of place, I guess, for lack of words here. So when you have the belt, it provides support that I feel is much needed, especially initially, for you to walk and just kind of get around. Thirdly, too, it shrinks your belly a little bit faster. And this is why you hear a lot of moms talk about, yeah, pregnancy belt all day. Some moms will wear pregnancy belts for like the whole entire day, and they'll sleep with it, which I think is a little bit extreme because it is uncomfortable. It's not the most comfortable thing to wear. So what I did is I wore it for as long as I could. And when it got really, really uncomfortable, I just took it off. I didn't put that much pressure on myself, but it was really, really helpful to make me feel more put together in a time where things were very out of place. It really helped to shrink me back to normal, shrink my organs, or actually get my organs back in place. So I highly recommend doing that. And back to my point of the 3, as you start shrinking, right, which will happen that first month and slowly, you can then switch from belt to belt, so it can be tighter and tighter and tighter. Some people, what they'll do is they'll put the 3 together so it can be really tight. Some people will just use the one that's tighter and do that. Again, it depends on how you feel wearing the belt. You know, you don't want to bring so much discomfort in a time where you are very vulnerable, you're still recovering, there's a lot going on. Just be easy on yourself and give yourself grace, because it is a lot. So if you can handle it, yes, but if not, like, do what feels good for you and your body. And these are my postpartum essentials. I think one thing I didn't mention was the maternity underwear, which, oh my gosh, like, I can't believe I almost missed this for you guys. So I found, and especially if you have hemorrhoid and all those things, like, you really want like comfortable underwear, but also like high waist. So I found my last pregnancy a really cute set of high waist underwear that are just super comfortable. Link it below as well. This is my list for postpartum essentials. If I missed anything, or if you guys are wondering about a specific item that I wasn't mentioning in this video, or that wasn't mentioned in this video, definitely let me know in the comments below. I might have used it and just forgot to mention it here. If you guys enjoyed this video, and if you do, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, subscribe, share with a mom friend, and I will see you next time.